Radio V. Radio in TV. Radio in TV.
Remember, all I'm offering is the truth, nothing more.
I'm a relationship hacker.
Run up and get touched up, suicide. And all of y'all know my style. I excel, then prevail. Run up and get touched up, suicide. That's it. And all of y'all know my style. I excel, then prevail.
I ain't got no music today, Chris.
You thought it was a motherfucking game.
Chris right here. Ladies and gentlemen, the So What Morning Show back in the building. You know what it is, it's Mondays. T Radio V. You know how we do. I got an incredible topic today. An incredible cast of people. But as is commonplace, I gotta promote businesses. Turn this down a little bit. So really quickly, let's get right to it. Do we have people on the phone line right now? When we do, let me know. Yeah? Not yet? Okay, when we do, let me know. What I'm going to do right now is go right to Bobby Glanton Smith. Bobby got me a bottle, like a goddamn baby, to keep this good watered up. Bobby, where did they get it?
You get Kangen water through my website, www.realmendon'tplay. Get at me through Twitter at Glanton Smith, or my email address, bobby@realmendon'tplay.com. He gonna need that water because there will be a rematch.
Bobby, just because you think you Bob Arum, you can't set no basketball game with me without my consent. No, I already beat you. The loser don't get to set the game. We're going to have another game, goddammit.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am going to
Mayweather going to beat Pacquiao. Pacquiao can't go, hey, we going to fight again, goddammit. No. If I feel like it, shit.
You ain't going to have no choice, man. We're going to give the people what they want.
Bobby already beat you. That's the bottom line. You got your ass beat. And that's it.
It's going down, y'all. The remix.
Bobby, you got your ass beat.
The rematch.
And that's it.
Yeah.
Now, Bobby, where can they get your book?
Real Men Don't Play at Bobby.
www.realmendon'tplay.com. See, how the fuck you gonna beat me? You don't even remember your book. Man. How you gonna remember how to beat me?
Man, I see them jumpers raining down on you, boy. Lord have mercy.
Jesus, Bobby, you and the failure. It's terrible.
Hey, man, you better tell them about Marvin Gaye, man. We were just playing some Marvin Gaye a minute ago, man.
Real quick, this is a book called Mercy, Mercy Me, written by Michael Eric Dyson. You can't really see it, but Michael Eric Dyson, go get the book.
It's a great piece of work.
I got to keep it pushing. I got a lot of business to take care of. In the studio, one of the great listeners and participants of the show. I don't use the word fan. These guys follow the show because of the information, because of the content. This brother came all the way from Cincinnati, Ohio. He even hooked my son. Everybody hear me talk about my son, the young lion b-ball player on his way somewhere. This dude hooked him up with a tattoo. He's a tattoo artist from Cincinnati, Ohio. Randall L. Welcome to the show, man. Tell us about where you do your business, websites, and all of that. Show the video, too. Yeah.
Excuse me. My business is called Studio 7 Design. It's located at 1324 Main Street, Cincinnati, Ohio.
Hey, New.
What's the shop phone number is 513-721-8282. And my direct number is 513-969-5355. The Instagram is Studio 7 Design. And then the website is paisleydarts.com.
Wow. Listen, man, I really appreciate this brother coming out. One more time, give him your website, number one. And then number two, give him that number one more time.
Website is PaisleyDarts.com. And the phone number is 513-969-5355.
Perfect.
If you're in the Cincinnati area, please support this brother, man. He got on with me today, got a copy of Real Men Don't Play. We recycling black dollars.
That's what this is. We recycling black dollars. Again, Weed Juice in the building. Listen, if you go to Weed Juice, my homeboy Hassan puts this together, man. All natural, all organic. Get it, support it. There's a ZoWhat code that gets you 10% off. I think 10 or 20% off of different packages that he has. Again, black business, recycle black dollars. That's what we got to do. Who else we got? Do we have somebody on the line yet? Who do we have on the line? Get Veronica on right now. Veronica Conway, let's go.
Please, anybody hear me?
Hello, is this Cleveland?
This is Cleve.
What up, Cleveland? Hey, this is my homeboy Cleveland. Incredible artist and teacher at Compton Community College. We promoting everything, goddammit. Somebody got to enroll in this man's class. Brother, how do they do it? How do they connect with you in order to enroll in your course? This dude is incredible, man.
Oh, appreciate it. I appreciate it. Much respect. Yeah, all you have to do is just go online and go to my website. That's learproduction.com.
Wait, spell that. Spell that. Fancy ass word and shit. Spell it.
Okay. LIERRE production.
.com, right?
.com, and then click on the ECC summer link and take you everywhere you need to go.
Perfect.
Yeah, we need some black folks in the arts again, because a lot of black folks, they're just not really interested in doing this type of creation in the academic world. So we need them back in.
This dude's an incredible artist. Let me tell you, maybe about 5, maybe now it's about 8 years ago. He came to my crib. You remember that picture of Nu and Prima with them holding the Ankh, and this dude drew that.
Oh, that's good.
And he came to the crib and just sat there and looked at him and drew it. We got this in the crib framed up right now. It's worth thousands of. No, he has to die before it's worth that. You know how the artist got to die before the shit is worth something, right?
Tell him when you met me at the concert.
See now,
I was drawing George Duke.
That's right. That's right.
What were you doing at a George Duke concert?
Hey man, I'm telling you, this dude is an incredible artist. Once again, they go to your personal website, right? And then they can click on what link that gets them to your class at Compton Community College. What's the name of the link again?
It's ECC Summer. ECC, actually, it's ECC 2015. When you see ECC, just click on it. It's right there.
There you go. Hey, Cleveland, I really appreciate you reaching out, man. I got to bounce, but thank you, man. We want to support everything you're doing. Thanks again, bro.
Thank you for your time.
All right. Elephant! You got to get the Elephant clothing. You got to support these guys. High-end, Ralph Lauren quality, cut, sewn, and stitched in New York by hand. This is not cheap stuff. You got to support these guys. They have some very nice high-end clothing. Black businesses have got to recycle dollars. That's the only way we can live and survive as a folk, as a people. I said as a folk. Yes, indeed. Ramo Mart. Yes. The Egyptian-style artist right here. This dude's an artist. I fuck with artists, man. This dude's an artist, man. All of his clothing incorporates ancient cultures that guess who created and started? We did. Yep. Support this dude, ramomart.com. I'm wearing some clothes. Passport Global. Little icy pieces of things, man. Passport Global. I'm wearing this shirt. Brother sent it to me. Go to passportglobal.net. Brother's on Instagram. You know, nice stuff. He sent a bunch of T-shirts, and I had one for Jeff Brown. Hand me this T-shirt right behind you, Randall. It's on your chair. Very nice stuff. What is this, velvet? right? No, it's velvet, right? Aspire to acquire. That's how we got to do it. It's got to be black businesses, man. It's all high-end quality stuff, man. We got to have a global passport, man. I like to support what folks is doing, man, especially brothers, man, in the community. We got to do it. Also, listen, I'm not playing. We've got, as of today, we've got 11 days on the So What morning show and relationship dismount book tour. And I got to be honest. I got to be freaking honest right now. We've made a lot of businesses a lot of money on this show for free. We ain't charged no businesses to be promoted on this show. And I'm a little disappointed because we're only at 13% on our personal endeavor, right? You know, the Relationship Dismount book tour. There were a lot of things that I wanted to do with this Indiegogo project. I'm not going to be able to do them all because we didn't get behind it, right? We got to get behind everything we do. That's the only way it's going to work. That's the only way we're going to be able to say, well, shit, this is what if you just look at it historically. Take Einstein. He was German, right? And all those other fucking scientists from Germany, right? The fucking war hits, because they're scientists and because they're affluent, guess what they can do? Get on a motherfucking plane and leave, right? We can't do this kind of shit because we're disorganized. We're disaggregated, right? All these other communities are an aggregate. You fuck with one, you fuck with all. There's numerous examples of that, right? We don't all get down with each other, and it really, really bothers me. We're at 12%, 13% on this Indiegogo campaign, right? It's going to produce a book. It's trying to produce a book tour. It's trying to even produce a documentary. But if we don't all come together and like make a collective, concerted effort, shit we try to do is just trying. There's no doing to it. It's just trying. Perpetual trying, right? So I'm a little disappointed about it. And we only got 10 days to really make an effort or make a difference, right? And really, in my mind, I'm on it's a consolation prize. We got to just settle for second or third place. And that's disappointing because we put a lot of positive energy and effort into others, and we was hoping that some of that positive energy and effort would come back. Now, for the 192 people who have donated, come on, man. I can't thank you guys enough and show you enough.
By saying thank you again.
Bob, Chris,
I said for him.
Cut Bobby's mic off. Because Bobby done went crazy. But no.
I did cut my mic off, too.
Yeah, we cut it off, goddammit. Because Bobby is on fire right now. I love Bobby, but sometimes we got to cut him off now. As a matter of fact, Bobby, turn that mic back on.
Cut
Bobby,
it off again.
do me a favor. Because I need to put this back in there because it's important that they support your shit.
No, we're going to stick with this. 192 people that supported you.
Bobby, can you do that, man?
Thank you.
Bobby
And for the rest of the people out here who
That's
know
my
that
uncle.
they should support what this brother do, yeah, keep playing with my microphone, man. I'm going to say it anyway. Come on, it's 10 days, man. Show your gratitude with your attitude. Get behind this brother's work. That's the bottom line.
And when he start rapping, you can't stop him, goddammit. Bobby, again, Enagic, where did they get it, man?
They get it from, man, why am I blanking out? Because I'm stuck on you right now.
Your email, though. Just give me your email, Bobby.
Bobby@realmendon'tplay.com. But it's more important right now that we get behind this brother's work, man. He has spent just so much energy in his life of creating a platform in which we get to do what we do. And he deserves an opportunity to expand his boundaries, support my brother and my friend Zoe Williams right now.
My dear friend Bobby, thank you, man. Listen, we got to take a quick break. When we come back, guest topics. You know how we do, the So What Morning Show 2.2. We'll be back.
See, you got the mic on.
I've been on that back burner, cooking for years watching you make your careers off of my blood and my tears. I'ma teach cause you a slow learner. I am the fear that's been living in your mind for years. The waking giant I am. Millions of people who no longer wish to follow your command. Cause we know that you a thief and a liar. We resist your genocide. We will not go quietly into your museums extinct. Nigga, fuck peace.
Hey, I'm Dean Cain, and you are watching T Radio V. I'm watching it too. Right now. Seriously.
Hi, I'm Holly, and this is Michael. We're on Love Life on T Radio V every day.
No! Every Tuesday.
Tuesdays.
Every day I try to get her to have a love life. But every Tuesday, where you can watch us and hear us, only one place.
Only hear him, though.
5 p.m. Pacific time, T Radio V. We're going to talk about love, relationships, intimacy. There'll be some sex, but not between us.
No, I don't have sex with him.
Not often. You're single, we're going to share with you what to do if you just want booty calls or be in a relationship. Oh, you know you like booty calls.
I do.
What's it like to be in a relationship? We always say you have to be a strong me before you can be a great we. One place, right here, Tuesdays, 5 p.m. Pacific, only on T Radio V, right?
Yep.
Cool.
What it do is your man Money B from Digital Underground asking everybody to check out the Going Way Back show, your home for classic hip-hop, raw and uncut. Join me
and me, DJ Always,
as well as Ty Teasy, bringing you the old school new news every Tuesday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, right here
on T Radio V.
That's right, radio in TV.
Andy D on T Radio V. Bing bang bing boom, right?
Yeah.
Andy D on T Radio V. Bobbity bibbity bobbity boom. Andy D on T Radio V.
The Andy Dick Show, Wednesdays from 4 to 6 p.m. on T Radio V.
Wow!
So but Paul, we'll do it better when the show actually starts.
Yeah, What's up, y'all? It's E. Don.
And I'm Diva Pink.
And we are the hosts of the Real Talk Show that airs every Tuesday.
You so serious?
Real life, real topics, real subjects.
Shop Talk, Diva Pink. Yes.
Real people.
Taking over.
Your homie Don Juan providing the vibes.
Oh yeah, he does every week.
Oh man, we need y'all to tune in every Tuesday, 6 p.m. to 7. T Radio V. Radio and TV.
It is radio.
Radio and TV.
You're crazy.
Let's do another one.
T Radio V. Radio in TV. Radio in TV.
A white guy like me co-hosting a black radio show. I think toxic relationships cause you to take poor care of yourself. That if you can recognize danger, if you can pause, if you can take some breaths, refocus, and engage, you might be able to dodge a bullet that you're going to send or coming towards you. One of the things that men don't get is that often women need to vent first to clear their mind. Can we throw up the Patreon page thing? I'll try and talk through it. I hope you'll support a campaign that I'm doing, and I think Zoe should do this. And you should call it Deep Think. No. What was it? Go deeper. So there's a site. There's a site called Patreon, and if you go to patreon.com/Dr. Mark Goulston, this is for any artist, a musician, who has a fan base that wants to support it. And so part of my mission in life is healing the world one conversation at a time. So to cross over to our topic today, which is about kind of helping the population explosion not explode so much, I think the better your conversations, the less risk of getting frustrated, and the less risk of getting frustrated, the less risk of having more and more unneeded and unwanted babies.
Wow.
And I think it was Eleanor Roosevelt or someone like that said, the best conversations are about ideas. The lesser conversations are about things, and even worse conversations are about people, gossip. Now, granted, this is a talk show, so we're always talking about things, but one of the things I like most about the people who come here is we talk about events, but we talk about ideas. We talk about doing something about them, solving them. We're not just here, we'll throw some humor up, but we're not just here to sort of gossip, and we're certainly not here to say we got to thingify the world because that's the only thing that's important. So I really respect my co-hosts and the guests we have on, because I think we try to talk about ideas, but what happens is we keep getting pulled back down into people needing things to make themselves feel better, or people gossiping, to make themselves feel better. So have better conversations, and we'll have less babies, and the babies we have will be wanted, and they'll be raised well.
Wow, that's an interesting angle for
Very.
today's topic.
Very.
But that's common for Dr. G to alley-oop us into the scrum, the fight that we're about to wage here. Today's topic: does planet Earth need to be put on a useless humanity diet? Commoner control. Shit. The Human Roach Motel. Population control is a real agenda.
It's not a game.
That's happening right now. An in-depth look into the conspiracy to reduce the masses of unlearned human animals. Today's topic is about global population control. Is depopulation the only answer for global warming? How are they affecting depopulation? Who is at the forefront of this conspiracy? Ted Turner has said a lot about it. Bill Gates has said a lot about it. Hell, Al Gore was the salesman for global warming. Rise of CO2s. Who creates more CO2s? Even more than industry, who creates more CO2s just by living?
Cows.
Humans.
Really? More than cows?
Human beings. That's the excuse anyway. That's what they're saying. Humans, just living, populating, just fucking babies. CO2, right? Question is, who are they looking to exterminate? Because when you start talking about population control, you're talking about poisoning, pharmaceutical industry, autism is on the rise, vaccinations, fluoridation of water. Well, fluoridation of water is good for you. It's going to whiten your teeth. But isn't fluoride rat poison? Now, if it says on a tube of toothpaste, don't swallow this shit, but you put it in the water, drink the water, the water's fine, drink the water, but don't swallow the toothpaste, the same compound is in both of them. There's a conspiracy going on. We're going to get deeper into this. You know how I do. We got questions. Let me just ask a couple questions. Is there a discernible difference between the 1% eugenicists, world or the world population planners, and Adolf Hitler? Hitler wanted to kill folk. You know this, right? Dr. G being a Jew and all. He wanted to just smoke motherfuckers up. Fuck it. They useless eaters. Right? Is that not true? Is there a difference between the new 1%ers that are running the world right now and Adolf Hitler? Call us. 855-878-4652. That's the number to dial. True or false? Was AIDS created as a tool for the depopulation of the world's melaninated people? Seeing that we get the shit more than anybody else. And then lied and said there was a little monkey fucking around, and then somebody finger banged the monkey, and you know how they do. Right? You know, they ain't got no green monkeys doing nothing, right?
Monkeys won't let you get close enough to fuck them.
Right? How may the existence of chemtrails be related to the plan to depopulate the world? They done started doing a lot of research. You got commercial airlines, you got military airlines crisscrossing the skies dumping shit. Is it affecting us? Is there some type of effect in the sense of, could it be the rise of fibroid tumors in women? Eczema, All types of shit happening, right? We don't even want to talk about the food industry or food-like, right? GMOs. And then there's some major global happenings in the world. Listen, we did the nigga show. Please understand, all my shows are linear. They all connect for a purpose. They all connect for a reason. And we'll get into that. Is there a homosexual/gay gene that can be turned on and off for the purpose of global depopulation?
I don't think I have that
Right? Listen, there's a professor, brother, at Cal Berkeley, who was doing research for a particular pesticide company. Now, the pesticides that they were putting on the fruit or the vegetables or whatever, come to find out there was frogs in the area. He did the research. The pesticides were turning male frogs into female frogs. Damn! Now this shit they spraying on grapes and you know cucumbers and shit. So you don't think there's a link? Population control is real, but real for who?
This salad's great. I want to take it in the ass now.
So let's talk about it. We're here right now. Why is it every time there's this grand fucking conspiracy to do some shit, to manage, to legislate, to govern people, why is it that black people tend to take the brunt of it? And when I say black people, I don't mean just African Americans here in America. I mean the global diaspora of melanated people. Why is it? Geoff?
Yes, sir.
You always got something to say.
Well, because we don't sit on the panel of people who make those choices, more than likely.
Yeah, there's some niggas.
It's, really?
There's some niggas on that
make
panel.
the big choices?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yeah. That's why I say African Americans are synonymous with white supremacists or one percenters or globalists, right? And when we say, remember, white racism and the war of racism, that's a hustle. That's a distraction. Yeah. This shit is really not about race. It's really about class, right? So when you see niggas aligning with the elites, they've already sold out their race. Shit. They've sold out not just their race, they've sold out the human race. They're like, well, fuck po white people too.
Yeah.
See, African Americans are like women. They go where the power is. Who want to speak on that? Bobby, you got anything to say?
Well, I was sitting here just going through the list of things that you talked about and trying to create some perspective. I agree that race is not as much of a factor as it has been purported to be, and it's just a process of elimination. I look at some of the things. I was watching 60 Minutes last night, and there was a brother who runs Homeland Security and some other things, but it's the mindset that's important. And as we look at this subject matter going forward, how do we rearrange our thoughts to the extent that we do not get swept up into somebody else's perception of what's really important? Because you mentioned spraying things. People really don't understand that until they actually see tests where you take the pesticides and herbicides that they spray onto the food that we eat, and then the long-term impact it has on us. Because you don't get the nutritional value, because first of all, you shouldn't even be getting it from them. You should be growing your food locally.
Oh, that's illegal pretty soon, right? Growing your own shit.
Is it?
Yeah.
Now, we're going to have to go to war about that.
But niggas don't go to war. Niggas go to the store.
I ain't talking about niggas.
Niggas go to the store. They don't go to war.
I'm going over to a Donna Jobs' house this afternoon and plant some shit. And I wish a motherfucker would try to stop me.
Wow. Kevin, grab that microphone, brother. I know you got some shit. One of my fellow Dragon Maw friends.
Well, as far as the depopulation thing, it's more of, you know, the Earth has just too many people right now. I mean, you know, the doc says, you know, stop having conversations, then you won't have as many kids. But more poor people have kids because when you're in the hood and you don't have any money, pretty much sex is
you got fucking.
You got fucking.
Yeah.
And so
fucking's always available.
Always.
Right.
But you know, people aren't taught how to take care of the earth or how to teach their children to take care of the earth when they have these kids. So, you know, you're having kids and they're just siphoning from the earth, not giving back. And so, you know, what you going to do then? I mean,
but who's siphoning? The poor people aren't siphoning. It's the white folk, globalists, 1%ers. Those are the siphoners. So what they're saying is, hey, we're fucking up the world, grabbing all the resources, but you're living here basically rent-free, having kids, participating in the natural shit of the world, and this shit is not replaceable. Maybe we should kill y'all so we can extend the life of the resource.
But they are the siphoners. Black people or poor people are the siphoners. I mean, you're taking gas. I mean, all the, go ahead.
From who? Here's when I get into there's too many humans. There's too many humans for capitalism.
Ooh, yeah. Okay? I'm gonna go there.
The concept of having too many kids has to do with 2.5 kids and a picket fence. Let me tell you something. You kill capitalism, the dude with the most sons is king. If I got 15 sons and I need a hut built, I got 15 sons.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Zoe Up Morning Show is just getting started. Is America's fast food industry an extension of Rockefeller's population control agenda? We about to take a quick break. When we come back, goddammit, we going in. I'll holler at you in a minute. Deuces!
I remember the nigga when his ass is dead. I've been putting something to that head, saying talk now. Is you really ready to walk that walk now? I'm going home tonight, fuck what you say. My nigga, is you about that life? Dealing with the bullshit, the stress and strife. No matter how hard you work, it don't get right. My nigga, is you about that?
Has four factors, a little bit of multiplication. So you've got a thing on the left, CO2, that you want to get to zero. And that's going to be based on the number of people, the services each person's using on average, the energy on average for each service, and the CO2 being put out per unit of energy. So let's look at each one of these and see how we can get this down to zero. Probably one of these numbers is going to have to get pretty near to zero. That's back from high school algebra, but let's take a look. First, we've got population. The world today has 6.8 billion people. That's headed up to about 9 billion. Now, if we do a really great job on new vaccines, healthcare, reproductive health services, we could lower that by perhaps 10 or 15%. But there we see an increase of about 1.3. The second factor is the services we use.
And then after that, we've got to stabilize the population. When I was born, there were
what's wrong with the population? I mean,
with too many people. That's why we have global warming. We have global warming because too many people are using too much stuff. But if there were less people, they'd be using less.
Hey geeks, wake up! We've got big news. I'm not gonna mumble this time. Geekscape, the long-running movie, video game. Let me do one more. Hey geeks, we got big news! Geekscape, your favorite show about movies, video games, comics, and TV, is coming to T Radio V Monday, October 6th, and it'll be on every Monday from then on, 7 p.m. Until the apocalypse happens, we're all eaten by zombies.
T Radio V. Radio in TV. Radio in TV.
Under Codex, every dairy cow on the planet must be treated with Monsanto recombinant bovine growth hormone. Recombinant bovine growth hormone is a genetically engineered copy of a natural occurring hormone produced by cows. Monsanto Company is the one who manufactures it. Milk production increases by as much as 10 to 15%. Recombinant bovine growth hormone milk is supercharged with high levels of natural growth factor and has been known to cause breast, colon, and prostate cancers.
Got milk?
Codex, according to the World Trade Organization and the Food and Agriculture Organization joint projections. Now, I didn't make this up. Please, if you unfastened your intellectual seatbelts, put them back on again. If you do the numbers in the WHO FAO projections, the epidemiological projections, they estimate, not I, because what do I know? They estimate, they're the experts, that just the vitamin and mineral guideline alone, when it goes into global implementation on December 31st, 2009, will result in a minimum of 3 billion, that's B, bad, big, billion deaths. 1 billion through simple starvation. Those folks who die are not particularly economically successful from the point of view of the corporations. When you're starving to death, how much good can you do when the issue is how much can you buy? Not a lot. Forget them. But the next 2 billion. They will die from the preventable diseases of undernutrition. Cancer, the single most profitable condition ever known to humankind. Cardiovascular disease, a good second. Diabetes, pretty good producer. And a whole host of other preventable diseases. Who will die? Who knows? Who will live? Probably those people who are wealthy enough and powerful enough to have their own pushers of clean food and nutrients.
Civilization. But what about polio? We've wiped out polio, haven't we? With the polio vaccine. No, as a matter of fact, we haven't. And if you look on the CDC website under polio, infantile paralysis, you will find several interesting things. First of all, you'll find that the only polio that is occurring is polio post-vaccination. That polio is being spread around the world through vaccination with the polio vaccine. You'll also find that the increase in childhood leukemia is directly attributable to the use of polio vaccine, which, like many other vaccines, is rich in a virus called SV40. Comes from monkey kidneys. And since the polio vaccine is cultured in monkey kidney tissues, the virus is included in
Listen, sometimes, you get people who have, shows or whatever, and it's just opinion based. We bringing in folk that's really in the know, and it's not a racial thing, like we said, it's a class thing. Again, if they see you as unintellectual, right, as unproductive to society, quote unquote, they trying to mark mass numbers of people as useless eaters. And the best way to do it is to slowly poison you via the water, via the food, via the air, via the ground, right? While they're not participating in any of this. When you go to the store and buy a 7-Up that has aspartame in it, it took the FDA 16 years to approve aspartame, and they had to finagle it because there were some people in there saying aspartame is motherfucking poison. You mean you're gonna use that as a sweetener, but it's a poison? Kevin?
Yeah, my ex-girlfriend, her best friend used to work for Coca-Cola, and she went out to lunch with all of the executives, excuse me, and they were sitting at the table, and everybody ordered water, and they got to her, she ordered a Diet Coke. And so when the waitress left, they all leaned into her and they said, "You drink that?" And they were like, "We don't drink that stuff." And that's the Diet Coke is the one with the aspartame.
Yeah.
And so they were warning her, like, don't drink any of this stuff because it's literally literally death.
And they're not just every gum,
huh?
It's in every gum.
Yeah.
It's in every mint. They don't go to the grocery store and look at how much shit has been horribly fucked up since you were a kid. Horribly.
Well, it starts with miseducation. We used to have health education in schools. Even then, there was miseducation. Best example I can give you is they say milk does the body good. If that was true, why don't cows drink milk? And they produce it.
You mean little cows don't drink their mama titty?
They ain't seen no. That's the end of the line.
That's the end of the line.
You don't see a grown cow drinking milk.
Well, shit, you don't see a grown human sucking on a mama titty either.
Well, you got to go to some good porn.
He said, Corey Holcomb is in the building. Welcome to the show, Corey.
But the point I'm making is, you look at the number of children that become asthmatic within the first year of their life. That's a clue that milk does not do the human body, good.
Wow. Dr. G, can you talk to us about the pharmaceutical industry? Because you're a doctor.
Yeah, we just a bunch of Negroes that got a hold of some books.
Right. You are a doctor. Like, tell us what in the hell is going on. Are you guys trying to I'm not blaming you, of course, but are you guys trying to over-medicate the population?
Trying.
We all know the medical industry is not trying to cure you. They're trying to maintain you, maintain your sickness where it is. Doc, can you give us some insight on the business behind it? How do you go to sleep at night? Speak on that.
I happen to take pharmaceuticals for
Ambient will send me right off, right?
I approach things from a different angle.
Corey says you answer questions with questions. Let's see if you're going to do that now. We're waiting. Look at Corey.
Seems like part of what we're talking about is people wanting immediate relief. From some medical colleagues I know, they say, when a patient comes in here, they expect to leave with something. They don't expect to leave with just advice. They expect to leave something, and then if we don't give them something, they're not going to come back. Well, but what about what's the honest thing? Shouldn't you be giving them something that'll help them, or why are you so afraid that they won't come back? So it's all circular kind of thing. To be honest, I don't really have many answers on the economics, and I'm not really
okay. Well, I will chime in on that. There's an oath that has been lost that doctors used to take.
Do no harm.
The Hippocratic Oath.
And that's the first thing they do is harm people. Because if I go to see the doctor, the objective should be the same between me and the doctor, and that is wellness. If I come in there sick, I need to leave out of there healthy. I don't need to get in his office and end up with a tray of medication that's going to keep me sick and managing sickness the rest of my life. That wasn't my objective to come to see no doctor. It was to get better, not to manage the shit that I came in here with. I want to get rid of that.
But you know what?
But what if the doctor was to say, you know, okay, this is not life-threatening, and if you let it run its course, it'll take X days, X weeks, and you'll be kind of out of sorts, but it'll be natural. We don't have to add anything. Keep doing your exercise and whatever. Or we can sort of speed that up, with other things. I think the majority of people, if you let it run its course, your body wants to heal itself. You're just wanting to intervene because you want it happening sooner. So, maybe we need to educate people about that.
Well, we need to restructure the pay scale, because the advice that you just attempted to give, and that is let it run its natural course, it's hard for doctors to monetize that. But what they can monetize
they can't monetize
next
wellness.
visit.
No,
They can't monetize wellness. Death is a business. Let's listen. If motherfuckers lived longer and lived healthier, what the fuck the paramedic gonna do?
Do you know what
What is it? Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, death is an industry.
Do you know what percentage of healthcare dollars are spent on people the last year of their life? Do you have any idea what that is?
It's an astronomical figure.
I think it's close to 80% of healthcare dollars are spent on people the last year of their life, because everything is thrown at them to keep them alive, as opposed to letting them kind of die comfortably. And it's
everything is priced by the people who got you sick. So this is what isn't probably being said, because when you break stuff down and just make it simple, it makes people think. The people, I want to say this, especially all the black people in the world, the people who came and got you from Africa and brought you here and oppressed you are the same people putting the food in the grocery store. So if you watch their behavior, it's still the same type of behavior. They have never changed. They're going to hustle, rape, pillage, do everything to the people, because this is how they get down. So when you go to the grocery store, if you find out where that grocery store came from and who owns it, you can pretty much expect the same thing to happen when they made contact with you before.
Jeff Brown, take us to break.
Medicine is a religion, in the words of Dr. Phil Valentine. And whenever you get outside of that religion and start medicating and healing yourself, that is considered sacrilege by the people who have you on the death wheel. All they're doing is talking about speeding up the death wheel, because the death wheel's already there. It's
population control is in effect.
So we'll talk more about that in a couple of minutes. We'll be right back.
I got a buddy just had.
You niggas is completely evil. Prey upon old women and innocent people who believe that you some holy redeemer when you just another schemer, a fucking demon. Lies from the devil in disguise. Your devilman is written in the element of surprise. You hide behind your crowd of voices.
Hi, I'm Sheriff John Bonnell. You're watching T-Radio. Radio and TV? What? Perfect. That's perfect. Why are you asking me to do this after 12 drinks?
Hey, my fellow thoughters out there. I'm Charles Shaughnessy. Check out my new show, Here's a Thought with Charles Shaughnessy, August the 7th, 3 p.m. PST, right here on T-Radio V. Now, you know I have a lot to say, but I want to hear what you have to say. So tune in, grab your phones, call me, tweet me, email me in the studio, and let's get this conversation going. Here's a Thought, starting August the 7th, 3 p.m. PST, right here on T-Radio V. That's radio in TV.
T-Radio V. Radio in TV. Radio in TV.
Looks very hard at the role of a key scientist, Dr. Harold Hodge, in the fluoride debate. Dr. Harold Hodge, for most of the Cold War, was the leading scientific defender of the safety of low doses of fluoride and the beneficial effects of water fluoridation.
Dr. Harold Hodge
a distinguished toxicologist on the Rochester team, has carefully investigated the safety of fluoridation.
Well, to put it very simply, fluoride is safe at 1 part per million.
No scientist's word was trusted more by the health establishment than Dr. Harold Hodge when it came to fluoride. He was a very senior figure and operated at the highest levels for almost all of his scientific career.
This brings us back to the fundamental point. Fluoride is safe, and I think I can say in conclusion that there is no health hazard that justifies postponing water fluoridation.
66% of United States residents' public water is fluoridated. It is known to have tremendous effects on bone cancer, joint problems, bone weakness, lowered estrogen and testosterone levels, and dental fluorosis, which is yellowing of the teeth and pitting in the enamel. Wouldn't it make more sense to enhance public water with vitamins which are meant to be ingested to promote overall health, rather than putting such a toxic chemical in our water with a bogus explanation that it will improve our dental health? We now know that fluoride causes more dental problems than it solves. Something doesn't seem right about this. Do you honestly believe that these companies care deeply enough for the people to spend large amounts of their own money to fluoridate public water when the people already purchase their own toothpaste? But there's a difference between toothpaste and drinking water. We don't ingest toothpaste. If you go to any hardware store and look at any rat poison product, you will only find one ingredient: sodium fluoride. It is the most toxic ionic molecule outside of potassium dichromate. Now Dannon, along with other companies, have begun fluoridating bottled water. It is becoming increasingly difficult to...
You know, we're looking at a broader approach. We want to look bigger. We want to look, what is happening to us? What is going on? Why are we only using 10% of our brain? I mean, what is going on? Is this by design? Well, and as you said, it is. I'm sorry. The evidence is there that this is being covered up, or it's not by accident. A lot of people say, "Oh, they put these things in the food, air, and water just, maybe by mistake originally, and then they don't know how to retract the programs." No, it's not. I'm sorry, it's not.
Now, strange weather, floods, tsunamis, volcanic and earthquake activity on a scale not witnessed in our lifetimes. Chemtrails. These chemtrails are passed into the atmosphere by commercial jetliners and military jets under the guise of being simple jet exhaust vapor trails. They are not. The chemtrails are helping to cause this flood by altering the atmosphere, but the real source of this increased volume of water are the melting ice caps, which are part and parcel.
So, for those who think, like, motherfuckers, people so fucking dumb, right? In general. This is no disrespect, but you've been programmed to be stupid. You're inherently intelligent, but you've been programmed to second guess your natural ability to question everything, which is the key component to intelligent life. You've been taught and programmed to accept the rule of the authority. Now, governments are operating in the capacity of the motherfuckers who cut lawns. They're pruning the human tree. These motherfuckers is useless. Let's prune these motherfuckers. How do we prune them?
Wow.
We're going to prune them by poisoning the water, the food, and the air. But who do you turn to? Well, somebody has to lead us. This is what a sheeple, that's the definition of a sheep. You're looking for a shepherd who really has the power to say which sheep lives and which sheep dies.
Looking for a shepherd in the slaughterhouse.
God damn. Kevin, can you talk about the big shit that's going on that Obama just did? He just signed some shit called the TPP. What the fuck is that?
He's black.
Well, they haven't signed it yet. They're debating on it right now, and so the Trans-Pacific Partnership was it was thought up a long time ago, at least 10 years ago, but they started to implement it in 2010, and it's basically just free trade, like the NAFTA Agreement, or
Remember
National Foreign
North
American Foreign Trade Agreement.
Mhm.
So basically, what free trade is when different countries trade services and goods. Sometimes they have restrictions on them, taxes and things of that nature. Free trade eliminates all of that between the countries. So the Trans-Pacific Partnership combines 40% of the world's GDP, or gross domestic product. And so that's around $792 billion or something like that they're combining as far as all the countries. But what the Trans-Pacific Partnership does...
Billion or trillion?
Billion people. This is that people. 792 million people, and it combines 40% of the gross domestic product.
Wow.
So that's just the first one. There's another one coming called the TIPP that combines 60%, and this is what Obama has in his back pocket if he gets the first one passed through. Now, the first one that they're trying to get passed through, it's secret. He's labeled it as top secret. No one can see it. None of Congress can go in there and review it, so that they can come back and tell the public what it's about, which is supposed to be illegal. You got public legislation. You got legislation that's going to affect the public, but no one can see it. Your representatives can't see it. So one politician he petitioned to see it under the Freedom of Information Act, but they didn't really let him have it. They let him go in the room. He sat down with it, flipped through some pages.
He couldn't take it with him back to his office.
Nothing. But when he came out of there, he basically broke down. He said that agreement takes away the sovereignty of all the countries that are involved in it. What it does is it combines all the corporations under the agreement, and it takes the power away from the courts in those countries. So if you're sovereign, and say if one of those corporations did something in your country and you wanted to take them to your court under your laws, it takes that away.
Wow.
What it does is put you under a private arbitration between the corporations, and no one knows how the arbitration goes. No one knows who runs the arbitration. And also, what it does is it allows different countries to have a case. So say if one country says, no, we're not doing GMO in this country, but another country has a company that does GMO, that company can sue our country based saying that you're taking away from our profits. And literally try to get, and so if they don't do it, what would happen is sanctions against that country would be implemented as far as financial sanctions, things they couldn't buy around the country until they finally implemented that agreement.
Yeah. But just remember, when that war jumped off, that Bush decided to send them troops off, we saw that sanctions and none of that stuff means nothing. There's one person in charge, because they said, you shouldn't invade that country or whatever. Am I right? Mm-hmm. And they went in anyway. So there's somebody in charge, and it's the people who normally kick ass around the world.
Well, and that's the people who are implementing the Trans-Pacific Partnership. So all those corporations that are coming together, they're owned by all the same banks. So, yeah, it's really one government. It literally implements a world government or corporate government.
Right.
That's what that is.
Right. And again, the corporation supersedes sovereignty. That's what this is now. Everybody, New World Order, oh, that's conspiracy. I got a job at Bank of America, nigga. I'm doing all right. Listen, this is a real situation that's going on. Now, the fish may not know he's in an aquarium, right? But motherfucker, when you find out that there's walls to your house, to your environment, you got to say, well, what the fuck? Am I in jail? You got to at least question, what is this?
A free fish act different than a fish
Say that shit. Say that.
A free fish act different than a fish in an aquarium. A fish in an aquarium looks up to eat. He's looking up to master, goddammit. But a fish that's free is out there in the world trying to get it and make sure he don't get got. Fish that's free looking to the side like, I know some motherfucker about to whoop on me. But just like, the brothers and sisters in America, we look up for the food. Or Jesus, whichever one of them motherfuckers coming.
Yeah. I want to take up on what Corey just used as an example in terms of a remedy for this conundrum that we find ourselves in. We got to think like that free fish, as opposed to looking up to get fed, because what we're being fed has altered our way of thinking and our lifestyles to the point where it compromises the quality of our lives. And while we do have this opportunity, we have to take full advantage of it to share information, not just for information's sake, but to devise a strategy to counter this assault on our individual freedom.
But Bobby, let me just say this, and let me go, Jeff. You say it don't work.
I don't think that's going to work. I think what's going to have to happen is this big machine that is being put in place. It's going to have
is in place.
That or is being implemented.
Yes,
it's been in place for a while, but this machine is being implemented. It's going to have to fall under its own weight. That this concept of us being able to discuss what to do or not to do, unless we are ready to do these two things: one, grow your own food; two, load your own guns.
But wait, Jeff, you mentioned something that's big. Dude, they just did a deal with Iran.
Yeah.
Which was supposed to be the axis of evil. That was the justification for going to the Iraq war. They just did a deal with them. Now understand, this is a play. This is a play. This shit is already mapped out.
Yes.
You know what it is? It's the New World Order. Who was the enemy to the New World Order? The Arab states. Right? Now these motherfuckers is coming in slowly, but Iran, that's ruled by an Ayatollah, was like, let's do a deal?
No.
Come on.
No, nobody in Iran who cares about the people in Iran would do any type of deal with
America.
The wicked government of the United States. They have been conquered. And don't think nothing else has happened. They have been jacked just like all other countries that are jacked by the wicked demonic motherfuckers in the United States, and your beloved Obama is the gopher.
Well, wait, you gotta take a break. You hear the music. When we come back, we're gonna finish the rest of this. I mean, this is crazy right now, but the population is going to be decreased. They trying to do it. The ideal number is 250 to 300 million. That means they're planning to kill 6 billion people. We'll be right back.
If they do it.
Most niggas the former, but I'm the latter. A nanobot from planet Rock, never go pop. A sucker do what a sucker do.
I'm Zoe Williams.
And I'm Dr. Mark Goulston.
I'm Jeff Brown.
And we make up the Zoe What Morning Show. You can find us here on tradiov.com every Monday at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. I make you think.
He makes you laugh, and if I get a chance, I'll help you change.
Or make you cry with his attempts at humor.
Radio in TV.
Can you relate? We'll make it happen.
Look at you. What you doing?
Were you mumbling to yourself?
Hey, back there mumbling.
To them. To them.
Radio V. Radio in TV. Radio in TV.
Police, killing police, they were going to arrest you in the garden.
So I'm going to wait.
He's back.
Are you guys... We'll do a little thing, had a little intro.
Jeff, come on, man.
Oh, okay. Go on. We're on a heavy subject today. Black people do not make up 2/3 of the Earth's population, to the 9 white people who watch this program. Take this back to whoever it is that you get down with. This is not about race. This is about class. And by default, black people are in a lower class. But we not the most in the lower class. We don't get the most food stamps. We ain't the most on welfare. We ain't the most unemployed. We just happen to be in the shittiest seat on the same boat that most of you oaky ass white folks who live in the middle of nowhere are in. The same country clubs we can't get in, Your ass can't get in. They don't like you either. The superpowers don't wear plaid. That's my point. You really need to take a good look at this shit. When they start subtracting, of course they gonna subtract most of us, but they gonna subtract a lot of y'all. I'm done.
Wow. I could live with that.
Maybe not.
I never wanted to fit in. I never wanted to fit in. I've always been blessed to have a leadership skill, to know how to manipulate, but I try not to use it for evil powers. I know if you sit up there and hold something in your hand and look at it and be laughing, most of the people gonna be like, "What's that?" You take it away. No, let me see. That's what they do to people. You know what I'm saying? They make you think you missing out on something. Ain't shit in my hand. Them country clubs. All that stuff, it's not gonna help you. It ain't shit. It's for the weak.
Wow.
You know, I'm the confused white guy. Is there an agreement that we need to lessen? I mean, just amongst us, is there an agreement that we need to lessen population or do something about its growth, or is there a disagreement about that?
The U.S. State Department has a website that talks about population stabilization.
No, but what's our position here in the room?
In the room?
Yeah, our room here. Yeah,
Do you think? I don't think we need to fuck with humanity. See, white people.
I do.
And number one percenters. This is me, and everybody could go around the table, and that's a great question. Everybody go around the table and say their opinion. Well, let me just say, I don't think we should fuck with nature, and I'll tell you why. Whenever humans fuck with nature, it's like hacking the registry system in a computer. We always fuck something
else up.
Right? First off, we're black and white thinkers. We don't think in context when we do shit. Right? So when the motherfucker had the great idea to say, you know what, a freezer would be good in order to preserve meat. That's a good idea. Well, you know what, it is. But because we're linear thinkers and all we thought about was freezing meat, we didn't think about the creation of Freon would fuck up the ozone. Until many years later, it was like, well, where the fuck does this come? Oh, Freon. That's right, but the meat is frozen. But there's a big-ass hole in the ozone. We don't think in stereo. So I don't think human beings should be tampering with shit. Look at the imbalance in the pharmaceutical industry. Well, this shit is for asthma, but it could kill you. What? Why would I take some shit that would make my situation worse? The list of fucking side effects is longer than the benefits of the shit. So why would I do it? Everything we do is imbalanced. That's why fucking with the population seems to be playing God to me.
Well, do you think that extending extending our lifespan way beyond? I mean, other animals don't extend their lifespan the way we do. I mean,
we've actually reduced our lifespan.
So everybody answer that. Answer the question.
Do you think? Do you think the average lifespan compared to say 400 years ago?
It's shorter because people used to live vibrantly into the 120, 125 years before what Zoe just mentioned. We began to artificially affect the environment, and then their lifespan started to shrink.
So people used to live
real quickly on that population thing, though. In China, they mandated population decrease. And in the one of the unintended consequences is they got a generation of young people out there that don't relate to the traditions of the Chinese people because they had such large families. There was an interaction between people.
And that's gone.
That's gone.
Corey, Geoff?
Okay. Population control should not be regulated, especially with what's happening now, because the people who are trying to regulate the population have a wicked criminal history. And what they're worried about is the world looking like this room right here, where it's a whole bunch of brothers getting together, talking about things, working it out with one Caucasian dude in the world. That's what they're worried about.
Speaking of the
our mole.
Speaking of the Caucasian,
now go in, Dr. G, and tell him our plan.
Speaking of the one Caucasian dude in the room, when we talk about lifespan and widening and shortening and lengthening, generally, we're only talking about European white people. When we talk about, the lifespan of the average individual was only 45 years. Well, that's You talking about white folks that didn't bathe, didn't use soap, that was crazy, wild, killing each other. This is not talking about the people who came thousands of years before them. Those people didn't live like that.
But the reality is people are living longer, and the reality goes to this level.
Longer than
the normal expectation of life. If you go back, but now that life expectancy is longer, and the question is, if motherfuckers keep getting born, and motherfuckers ain't dying at a certain rate, then the population explodes. They call it the population bomb.
Which is not,
will the Earth be able to sustain?
It's
That's
not
the
a
question.
problem if you take out capitalism
and industrialism.
Capitalism is what makes it a problem.
No faith in the Earth. What you're saying is you have no faith in the Earth. What you're saying is we will destroy each other naturally. But the truth is that's not what's happening. There's a wicked ass race of people destroying everybody, and nobody wants to say it just like that.
Well, I said before, the population explosion was helped by, the explosion of the oil industry. But what they found in the 70s was something called peak oil. And so, first of all, this is where you get all the suburbs from. They thought oil was just going to be abundant forever, so they'll move all these people out to the suburbs. Gas is cheap. They can drive from their jobs back to their homes in the suburbs. Everything is cool. 70s, they found out something called peak oil. Oh, the oil is running out. So what are we going to do? Oh, shit, we got to move everybody back. This is why you see gentrification going on right now. They're moving everybody back into the cities.
Wow.
And they're moving all the poor people out into the outer areas. And so, this is what I wasn't saying I was for population control as far as killing off people, messing with nature, but through education, because you have so many people that are just out there having kids and they don't understand how to take care of these kids or how to guide these kids on how to work with the earth. So that's my thing, and as far as the TPP, the Trans-Pacific Partnership, the reason that America is able to enter into that, or the reason that it's becoming a corporate government, is because all governments are corporations. Like America,
people don't even know that, right?
America is a Delaware corporation.
Yes. Yeah,
but it's an actual Delaware corporation. And just like a Wendy's in Delaware, it has a Delaware corporate file number.
And Kev, isn't every sitting president the CEO of the Pentagon?
Absolutely.
And his job is to sell arms to other countries?
That's it.
Motherfuckers don't know.
When you say educate with regard to reproduction and having children, education based on whom's paradigm?
Ours. It's got to be us.
No. When he says re-education, okay, if you base it on a feudal lord's paradigm, a feudal African lord paradigm, what the fuck is wrong with you and your 3 kids? You need about 12 more. Because like the Duggars in Utah, here's a family of 22 people. 22, I'm not talking about extended family, mama, daddy, and 20 kids that are in the black. They don't have any credit cards. They don't have any debt. They build their own houses. They buy their cars cash. They, on paper, are ghosts. Tell them that they got too many kids. They don't, because they are not plugged into capitalism.
Well, here's a little bit of information here. It was in 1979 that the Chinese government policy that strictly limited the reproduction of its citizens. In other words, China started governing the reproductive rights of its citizens in 79. That's 35 years ago. It's been enforced ever since then. 1 kid per family, period. Now they have an influx, I think, of females. Because remember, they were killing females because, damn, there's too many females. We need some boys.
You're not going to adopt a Chinese male boy.
I'm just saying, it's a lot of bullshit that can come from trying to legislate reproductive rights. And this is how our government works. Let's not forget this. Obamacare, you better sign up. Because if you don't sign up for quote-unquote free medical insurance, which is designed to medicate you, we're going to tax your ass for not signing up. Bobby?
Well, the beautiful thing about information is you get to make your own interpretations of it. when you talk about energy and population, you cannot leave out of that discussion the sun and the wind, because they have led us to believe that we cannot make it without oil, when in fact it is a finite resource. Now, common sense tells me that every day that I wake up, there's a sun somewhere that's shining very, very brightly, and that there's a following wind somewhere. What we have to do is reconstruct our own paradigm, control our own narrative to the point where we get the information out there to people so that they make better individual and collective decisions about what approach is best for the planet and what's the best approach for us in terms of meeting our energy needs.
Now listen to this really quickly on Twitter before we go to break. We've got some people asking us questions right now from Twitter. Can you ask somebody at the panel, why is it illegal in some states to collect rainwater? Why is it illegal in some states to grow your own food? You got to understand, I need you motherfuckers to die at some point. Just like school is a conveyor belt, so is your motherfucking life. Right? You got a limit of how many Christmases we want you to experience, motherfucker. You right? You're not in control of none of this shit. Your job is to participate in the narrative we wrote. You understand? It's really that fucking simple. Kev, your last point, and then we got to go to break.
Well, I was just making a point about earlier you guys were talking about the pesticides and stuff like that. And Monsanto, who is the biggest producer of those pesticides, first of all, Monsanto's board is like an interchanging little revolving door between the government officials and Monsanto. They come from the government, go straight to Monsanto's board.
And back and forth.
And back and forth. And so, as far as, Monsanto created something called the suicide seed.
What?
Yeah, and it's a seed that it dies after 1 year of production. And so this is what everybody's eating now. So they have like something over 50,000 seeds, actual natural seeds, patented.
They have fucking copyright and patents on seeds.
Because they saw nobody else was doing it, so they said, fuck it, we're going to go and patent all these seeds. So what that did
Who gives the motherfucker the right?
Because nobody else did it.
Just random. You know what?
Patent a tree.
I'm a patent the motherfucking corn seed, bitches. Ain't nobody else doing it.
Is that the way it was on the business plan?
Yeah.
If you eat
patenting the corn seed, bitches. Is that the way it came in the boardroom?
You know, but you know,
bitches, look at this shit here.
Patenting the corn seed.
Yeah. Thank you.
Right. You know what?
You could have.
I'm just saying, if motherfucking Bill Cosby couldn't buy NBC,
go find a seed
that
that's not
motherfucker
patented.
could.
You can go to the patent office and patent that seed.
That's what's amazing.
You can do that.
You really think you would be allowed to patent something?
Go and do it.
Okay.
You can do
No.
You just don't know
No. This is how we do it. No, this is how we do it. This is how we do it. We send Dr. G's punk ass in there. Dr. G.
Go patent.
This is we the cabal. Right, we the cabal. We send our informant in that motherfucker.
Dr. G get around his people, you gonna find out who the fuck Dr. G.
Listen, we gotta take a quick break. We'll be back in 2.2.
Yeah. Feeling like a part of me missing that part of my heart that complements my existence. The saga continues, I'm dealing with issues. Past homies that know me now say that they can't get into what I'm reading and what I'm...
Yo, what's up? This is Too Short and you're watching T Radio V.
I'm Laura Somoza.
I'm Sterling Gardner.
And we are Between the Sheets every Monday here, 3 p.m., tradiov.com.
T Radio V.
That's right, it's T Radio V, radio in TV. What is that face?
He wants to see our hands.
That's radio in TV. Wah, 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 wah.
We're not a couple.
T Radio V. Radio in TV. Radio in TV.
At some future period, not very distant as measured by centuries, the civilized races of man will almost certainly exterminate and replace the savage races throughout the world. The break between man and his nearest allies will then be wider, for it will intervene between man and a more civilized state, and some ape as low as a baboon instead of as now between the Negro or Australian and the gorilla. Charles Darwin, 1890.
Charles Darwin is very well known for writing The Origin of Species in the 1800s. This book gave rise to evolutionary theory. What people don't know is that there was actually a longer original title to this book, and that was On the Origin of Species by Means of Natural Selection, or the Preservation of Favored Races in the Struggle for Life. Now, copies and editions that they made afterwards eliminated that phrase about the favored races. Evidently, they understood then that it was politically incorrect.
Some may defend Francis Galton because eventually that he rejected slavery, but they do point out that all of his wealth did derive from the slave trade, but also it needs to be known that he, as well as other eugenists, did not reject slavery until after it had ended.
Charles Sarin et al. Were Lytton bionetics researchers were your co-authors, in which you combined cat leukemia and chicken sarcoma viruses to create evaluate the leukemia sarcoma complex models.
I'm really smart. Yes, we did it. Everything was created by us working in the laboratory. Look, just for those with some little bit of understanding of this, who care about this kind of idea, I mean, I've had a lot of things said, but I've never had anything quite like that one. There were people who thought and made postulations that, and it was not actually directed at me, this is a good one, a new one, but that HIV could have been created in laboratory experiments. There are two answers to that are definitive, conclusive, that no scientist could have deliberately created them unless he was a super genius and 10 years ahead of his time. The AIDS virus definitively existed long before molecular cloning. That's point one. Point two, we know the full sequence, the genome of HIV. It was published by our lab in 1985 and by a group from Paris around the same time. The genome has no homology to any known existing virus in the world, except SIV, discovered after it. Has nothing to do with cats, has nothing to do with chicken sarcoma viruses. SV40 is a DNA virus that comes from little animals that can transform cells in culture, has no sequences in HIV. Further, we never worked with SV40 with those viruses together, and if we did, the whole thing would be irrelevant. And I think you need to begin with Biology 101 high school, okay?
These documents.
First thing they attack is your intelligence.
Yeah. Well, no. See, let me explain. You can't have a programmed people unless you make intelligence evil. Right? You look up the word government, from its Latin etymological root. You know what that shit means? Limiter. You can't limit a self-aware, self-knowing, intelligent being. You just can't. But you can a programmed, right, motherfucker. You could, because he has social cues that are deemed normal, right? Even the doctor will tell you in psychiatry, you're a little too fucking happy, so you're manic, right? You're a little too motherfucking sad, so you're depressed, right? And there's this box of normalcy that you fit in, and too far north, something wrong with you. Too far south, something wrong with you. Too far east, something wrong with you. Too far west, something wrong with you. By their definition. Am I lying, Doc?
No. I have a weird question. What?
Look at Corey. They go to questions. Go ahead, Doc.
Well, you guys are so filled with answers, so, what can I say? What do you think should What do you think? What understanding should inform the people that make decisions that affect our lives? What should they understand that should inform them so they can best serve us? Because what we're talking about is, yeah.
Well, first of all, the answer to that question is there is not a definitive answer, because the people who should be at the top of the pile are yet to be determined.
Mm-hmm.
And that's going to be determined by who gets to the top of the pile. And what I mean by that is I'm not letting nobody think for me, period. And if I had to give up my life about that, I'm prepared to do that. If I had to take somebody's life to keep other people from thinking for me, that'll put me in positions where I hate myself and I hate the people around me with no other reason because they said so, then I'm going to draw that line in the sand as an individual. So all this groupthink shit gets in the way when you start asking a question like, well, how do we determine how my ass, I'm going to think for myself. I'm going to figure out, should I be eating this? Should I be drinking that?
Absolutely.
Should I be doing this? Or should I be doing, I'm not going to let nobody make that decision for me.
And
So you have, sorry, go ahead.
And the concept of what we should tell these people implies that these people are open to dialogue with us. These people are not open.
I just want to make sure
any dialogue.
I'm not saying they are. I'm saying, is there anyone that should be making any decisions that affect any other people?
Yeah, people who don't have a history of raping and pillaging and conquering everybody else.
That's fair.
What
Kev?
are we talking about?
We have that history too.
Kev, speak on that.
We have that history
You're about to
too.
talk about the Dragon Mole.
You.
What have we done? I am a Dragon Moor. Fuck it.
We have raped and pillaged throughout history much longer than Caucasian people.
That's true.
And so
the history is there, though.
That is true.
That's part of the
that's
history
just the
that
way
they don't
it
want to
is.
tell you. Why? Because that will embolden black people to know, like, oh, we did that.
That's where the fear comes from. And so,
Speak on the history, then I'm gonna throw it back to Corey. Go ahead.
Well, no, the history, throughout years, we were enslaving people for 1,000 years. So,
Okay.
When you have that, finally they come back and they gain power. If you were enslaved for 1,000 years, finally once you got power, would you be trying to let it go? Hell no.
Well, that's you. We can never speak on individuals,
Man,
but let me say this. X what I just said. Let me put it like this. The weak cannot lead, because when they are weaker than you, they envy you in a way that could never be fixed. If somebody knows that you are the ultimate, they're going to find a way to make it where they're in a better position, because they could never fit in with the ultimate.
True.
So those people are the ones that can't lead. How about that?
Yeah, but what should guide the people who are strong enough to lead? I mean, or do they just think for themselves and then they say, I know what's best for everyone else?
Well, we will say this. We have to acknowledge this. And I think Corey speaks to this. And you can use whatever term, but let's just say the term is evil. For a lot of motherfuckers who are at the 1% level, there is a level of evil that guides their decisions. It's not humane. Like, when you're in the thought process of saying, based on class, through the filter of class, we're better, right? We deserve to live, you do not. Right there, you're the axis of evil, right? So when you say, asking the people who are in charge, what is it that they need to know? They've already given themselves to evil. Because, for instance, how can you value pets over people? You understand what I'm saying? We value pets over people.
Yeah. You mean Vic versus Zimmerman?
Right. The motherfucking dogs that Michael Vick had have TV shows. And this nigga's still under financial sanctions. Right? This is real. You value animals over people. And this is something else that classism has set up. It's dignified barbarism. Dignified barbarism. I fucking raped your country, but you don't get to bitch and complain about it. Now you got grievances, you come to me in a low tone, and then you go through the process of how you interface with me, And the moment you show any disdain for this system, I get to disregard what the fuck you talking about. Bobby, then Kev?
One of the great equalizers in this thing that we call the circle of life is you can't control it. You can't control what happens in the human experience. If that was the truth, then we would have a succession of the same people over and over again. No one ever predicted that one person by the name of Fidel Castro would shift the balance of power in the world.
Still alive.
You follow what I'm saying? Because he was supposed to have been deposed 40 years ago. And now you look at the succession of leadership in certain monarchs and all of that, you get to a point where you get somebody that don't know what they're doing, and it just turns everything around historically. If you look at what's happening right now, Bill Gates is going to inherit more of Warren Buffett's money than Warren Buffett's kids are, because he done looked at his crew, his kids, his seeds, and said, no way in hell I'm giving the majority of the money that I've amassed to my own damn kids.
Well, let's look at it even this way. When we talk about the elite, who gave the 1%ers and the elite the right to A, copyright seeds, and B, let's go even deeper. What about that seed bank in Norway? That big seed bank that the elites own, where they're preserving all of the world's seeds? Let's go even deeper. Let's go even fucking deeper. This depopulation shit is real, right? All the major cities in the world are located where? On the coastline. On the coastline. All the major cities in the world with the major populations are located on the coastline. That's done for a reason. You didn't design Los Angeles. You didn't design Manhattan. You didn't design New Orleans. But your ass moved there, and you claim that shit like it's a gang, right? Why are all the major cities on the coastline? Oh, because they planning something for that ass. Oh, yeah. Every major city is below sea level. And you got a taste of it with Katrina.
Denver.
Oh, Denver. That's not a major city.
Okay.
That's not a major city. When you do the research, all the major cities are by water. They're on the coastline.
There's a reason.
There's a reason.
Another reason, though.
Go ahead.
Another reason is, until the last 100 years or so, the only way that you could transport goods and services was via the waterways.
Yeah.
So cities are an outgrowth of that relationship between how you move things around.
But there's also, that's right, you're right, 100%, but there's also a hypnotic spell that motherfuckers believe in worldwide. And it's based in 3 branches of one religion. The Abrahamic religions, Judaism, Christianity, and Islam all have a motherfucking apocalypse. The Jews waiting for Jesus, the Messiah, or the Messiah, not Jesus. They didn't ever believe he was.
Yeah,
they never believed he was the Messiah, but they waiting for the Messiah, El Messiah, right? Hamashiach. They're waiting for him, right? The Muslims, they believe in jihad, right? The Christians, they believe in the rapture. Oh, there's a hypnotic spell that we believe in that we're manifesting, right? This shit is coming. Go ahead, Corey.
But check this out, man. I think we throw people off when we say stuff like copyright and stuff like that, because you make people think it's the law when you say copyright or when you do something like that. There's only gangster shit going on in the world. The people who come up with a word like copyright or what all that, this is their way of saying we could take you to our courts and do it civilized if we want to. But bottom line, it's all about gangster shit. Copyrights? What is copywritten that should not be copywritten? That's what you need to think of. And how you going to get it back? Because the only way you're going to get it back is to take it back, because they took it.
Wow. Listen, shit's getting deep. Before we go to break, in order to give birth in China, you must have a valid government-issued birth permit. Women who conceive a child without a permit are coerced into abortions. Such couples additionally run the risk of losing their jobs, their house, or even their freedom, since they are often incarcerated in family planning jails.
Damn.
That's China for your ass, motherfuckers.
Baby mama jail?
And it's coming. It's coming. I'm gonna holler at y'all in a minute. So One Morning Show. That's what we do.
Hi, I'm Moby, and you're watching T Radio V.
This is Quick Fix Radio.
Quick Fix Radio.
Yeah. Check it out, y'all. We back in the building. What's going on?
Yes, sir. What it do? We got some super special guests up in the place,
in
man.
the building, we got all 5 live in the building. Bone Thugs in the building.
All
Everybody.
five. We up in here
tonight, y'all. What's going on?
Hey man, I had to come see what this TV radio what this all about. You know what I'm saying? Hey.
We got Game on the line. Game, what's going down, baby?
What up? What up, man?
What's going on? Oh man, we got EPO. Who's this on the phone with us?
Yo, what up, man? It's Akon.
Akon in the building. Who is this on the line?
Be real.
We got Be Real. Be Real. What else we got on the line?
This Ty Dolla $ign right here.
What up, Ty Dolla $ign in the building. Thanks to all the fans for stopping by.
The Quick Fix with Crazy Bone, right here on T Radio V.
T Radio V. Radio in TV. Radio in TV.
Agenda 21 and global conspiracy or climate savior. And they kind of, make a joke out of it because, again, all the different establishment publications don't want us mobilizing against this corporate stealth takeover of society. That's in all the documents in public. So, again, here's that move under Agenda 21 to abolish the suburbs. Obama, will he abolish them? Agenda 21 conspiracy to wipe out freedoms of all U.S. citizens. And it gets into the idea of urban sprawl being horrible. The problem is we're already laid out to live like that. We don't want to go into the central cities where everything costs so much. This will only hurt the poorest people that much more. This is the model of social engineering. Here's another headline. Agenda 21, GOP candidate vows to stop UN plan. It's very popular to expose this and to run on a prosperity ticket. That's why the system doesn't want us talking about it. Here's another one. Esquire saying that it's a con game to try to say that this program is even going on. Remember how they would try to deny that the UN even basically was trying to set up a world government? Or they try to say there was no NSA spying, or there were no lies about WMDs in Iraq? I mean, the people know that, no, this is going on. And denying that it exists doesn't work anymore. In fact, under Agenda 21, they've tried to ban all over the world children learning how to be farmers under their parents and doing their chores.
Welcome to the show. We appreciate you being on tonight.
Thanks for the invitation, Joe.
Okay, let's talk about the rat of the week. Why is Bayer Corporation the rat of the week?
Internal documents show that after this company positively, absolutely knew that they had a medication that was infected with the AIDS virus, they took the product off the market in the U.S. and then they dumped it in France, Europe, Asia, and Latin America. The medicine's called Factorate. It was an injection medicine that was used for hemophiliacs, mostly children. Children had been born with an incurable disease.
Hold on, Mike. So hold on. So you're telling me that Bayer knew that this drug was infected with the AIDS virus. They yanked it from the market in America, and then they dumped it in markets overseas?
They had to figure out a way, Joe, to make a profit on a product that they could not sell in America. So they made a huge profit. They dropped the product in Japan, Spain, and France. By the way, Joe, government officials in France that allowed that to happen actually had to go to prison for it. In America, not one corporate executive for this company has been indicted or even criminally investigated by our Justice Department.
Why not? You're telling me that these people that dumped this AIDS-tainted blood in foreign countries, who killed children, have not been taken to task in the United States?
It's worse than that. The U.S. government allowed it to happen. The FDA allowed this to happen. And now the government is completely looking the other way. Thousands of innocent hemophiliacs have died from the AIDS virus. And not only they're dying, their family members are dying because they're becoming infected with the disease. This company knew absolutely that they had a problem with the product. They knew that it was infected with AIDS. They dumped it because they wanted to turn this disaster.
Here we come. See. Let me just say, you want to live in your own little isolated, insulated world as if ain't shit happening. And one of my favorite scenes in The Matrix is when Morpheus is taking Neo through the program, and they're walking down the block, and then the girl in the red dress walks by,
red dress girl.
and you know, he had that conversation about, listen, the very motherfuckers you're trying to free from the Matrix will turn into an agent on your ass for trying to free them, because ignorance is bliss. We've been taught that intellect is evil. A lot of people don't know that. Well, I walk by faith, not by sight. But walk your ass into the street. Let's see how that works.
Yeah.
Right? Let's see how that helps you. We're doing this for a reason. Because as long as you're under the narrative of somebody you didn't, right, under the of somebody who really doesn't care about you, or you didn't write that narrative, you're a sheeple. That's just the bottom line. Bobby, go ahead.
I'm back to, the balance of it. They mentioned in that segment we just watched that when they dumped those products into those countries, unlike in this country, when they found out the consequences, the human consequences, the toll on their people of absorbing all of that garbage we sent over there, people that were complicit over there went to prison. They went to prison. In this country, the sheep that we are, we keep looking the other way when people do things like that.
Nobody's looking the other way, Brother Bobby. They are doing it on purpose. They the gangsters. They killing people. It's their guys. Oh, what happened? What you went over there? You poisoned those fucks? You're crazy, John. You knew it was gonna fucking go.
Look at your kids later. And let's read this. Let's read this right here. What are the State Department's goals concerning population control or stabilization? Let's hear this. The goal of the U.S. international population policy is to promote healthy populations by supporting sexual and reproductive health and reproductive rights, voluntary family planning, women's empowerment. They didn't say shit about family empowerment or men empowerment. They go to the women. Why? Because they are the final say on whether the kid comes or stays, right? Or goes, right? There's an agenda here. Please listen to the agenda. Women's empowerment and efforts to combat HIV and AIDS. The U.S. does not endorse population stabilization or control. The ideal family size should be determined by the desires of the couple, not governments. The U.S. strongly opposes coercive population programs, and in keeping with PRM's code's mission is to place protection on the world's most vulnerable at the center of the U.S. foreign policy. Now, please understand, no one has a better PR firm than the United States government. They have to play both sides of the argument. They can write this and say, no, we don't believe in population control, but let's fucking have the FDA okay the fluoridation of water. Well, no, we don't believe in population control, but let's okay Pfizer's new drug for fucking ankle stiffness that will make your fucking asshole fall out. Right? We don't believe in population control, but let's make sure that the chemtrails is playing fucking tic-tac-toe over your fucking baseball game. Right? The split tongue. We're going to speak two ways out of each side of our mouths. That's America. America will say, hey, God damn it, it's a democracy. You understand? We're for the justice and freedom. They'll spit that whole Superman spiel. But at the same time, oh Osama bin Laden used to work for us. He was part of the CIA. So was Saddam Hussein. You mean the niggas you went after?
So was the Taliban.
So was all these niggas. You mean all these niggas work for you? Come on now. Shit. Split mouth ass niggas. Go ahead.
One quick point.
Split mouth?
I'm going to continue to come back to the reality that I see, and that's all it is in my reality. We have done such a wonderful job of promoting our propaganda that it backfired on us in terms of so-called intelligentsia. That's why most of the best schools in America now are heavily populated with people from other parts of the world. India, China, the Asian continent, because we still have to fuel innovation with bright minds. They just don't happen to be quote-unquote American minds anymore, and that's a problem.
Well, well, now you're into the educational system, and education in America is really indoctrination. It's not, they've never really taught motherfuckers to think for themselves. They've always taught motherfuckers how to think. And therein lies the crippling aspect, because when a motherfucker is brilliant, how many brilliant motherfuckers just wash out of this system?
Right.
They just did it, and I couldn't connect. Oh, something must be wrong with this No, I'm smarter than you. That's what's wrong. I don't believe any of that shit you saying. None of that shit is validated in my mind. The genius motherfuckers don't fit in the cookie cutter system that they got for everybody.
If people were taught the truth, they would realize they are surrounded by bullshit every day.
Every day.
All motherfuckers go to school, think they got a degree. They think that they doing something so much better than the average motherfucker. But you can only go so far, especially with your black ass. You know what I'm saying? With all that bullshit you so-called obtained. Money,
Geoff?
education, you name it.
I think
what you gonna do with it?
I respect every mind here. But I really think we are going about this conversation backwards. This concept that almost on what Corey is talking about.
That was a backhanded compliment, by the way.
No, I love y'all, but we keep talking about this like the doing is now. This conversation is 30 years old. This energy is 30 years old. This is why they're so bold. This is why they don't hide. Because as people on a grassroots level, I think it's too late. I think whatever.
Okay, now you fumbled at the 2
I'm
yard
serious.
Jesus.
I think what has to happen. I think what has to happen is this very system we're discussing is going to crumble from the inside from its own fucking weight.
The system that we're in now will crumble because it's planned. They're bringing about a world government, and they're going to crash the system so they can combine all of the systems.
Okay, well maybe I'm not making myself clear.
No, clearly.
That one world system you're discussing is going to have to crumble under its own weight before any of this
that's not going to happen. They're the ones who planned the crashes.
Type shit.
The 1%. It's a simple one. The 1%, the bankers.
Okay.
Those are the private bankers are the 1%. The Rothschilds, the Bilderbergers, the G20, the G8. G8 is a fucking symbol word. Yep. G is G and 8 gate. The gatekeepers, motherfuckers.
What do you call it when all the animals are running like it's not an ambulance?
Stampede.
It is our job as moral individuals to guide the stampede against them instead of them sending the stampede our way.
You're right. Well, it ain't no stampede. It's a train, and you need to get out of the way right now. It's no stampede. This shit has been moving for a long time. Now you can. The thing is, most people don't understand what's going on. You need to get information and understand first, and then learn how to move.
Yeah,
you can't do anything until you know what the hell is going on first.
I agree. Listen, we gotta take a quick break. When we come back, final thoughts. This shit has been crazy. We'll be back.
You gon' fuck around and make us put you out of business.
Yo, what's up? This is Too Short, and you're watching T Radio V.
Hey, what's up? It's Tone Loc in the house, and you're tuned into T Radio V.
Radio V. Radio in TV. Radio in TV.
We are a society.
All right, here we go. Final thoughts. Let me just say, and I've always said this, you guys have heard me say on numerous shows, stereotypical thinking. First off, understand, we did this in the Negus show too, when we talked about your language is a spell, right? Certain psychologists, there's a form of psychology called transactional psychology. And it talks about scripts that are playing in your mind. So if you're a weak-minded motherfucker, they say you're playing a loser script, right? If you're a strong, industrial, self-motivated kind of person, they say you're playing a winner script. Well, the script is a spell. And whatever script you playing on your mind that your ass didn't write, you're under the spell of that. The pursuit of the symbol of monogamy because you were born in this society, or marriage, or, bridezilla, or I want to be an entertainer, or all of these motherfucking things are scripts. And what creates a fucking God person, God realized, not God fearing, is that they wrote their own script. When I see fucking Steve Jobs, that motherfucker wrote his own goddamn script. A lot of niggas don't want to write their script. And let me tell you something about New World Order and all this other shit. Only difference between, they got their own script, right? That they wrote, that they stuck to. And it requires organization. This is why I say black people are not good at organizing, they're good at buying, right? We good at just buying shit. But if we had an organizational infrastructure in place that we did not abandon, imagine what could happen. Imagine what kind of player African Americans would be in the world. Now, I sit here and see Jay-Z creating a new, music platform. And one of the things he's saying is we, as artists now, we get to write our own story. Well, yeah, great. What about human beings on planet Earth? You can't write your own story if you're always under the oppressive foot of a government. If you're always being governed. I know this sounds radical, but shit, somebody's got to say it. I don't believe that the system is invincible. What I believe, we know what you're saying, Geoff. Take your frustrations out at home. No, I'm not saying that the system is invincible, but what I'm saying that seems almost impossible is us all getting on the same page. Black people have been programmed through a spell that says we ain't shit, and we look at each other like we ain't shit. There's a lack of self-respect, self-love. We don't honor each other. We don't support each other. We don't ride for each other. All we do is criticize and judge each other by standards that weren't written by us. Therein lies the fucking problem. That's why I'm a nigga, I ain't gonna never give up no motherfucking Crest toothpaste. Fuck is wrong with you? Well, I just told you it had poison in it, rat poison. Well, nigga, what the fuck am I supposed to do? Who are you to be telling me about fluoride and shit, nigga? You ain't no doctor. That's us, right? That's how we fuck with each other, right? We always beating our own ass over some shit. This motherfucking holier than thou ass nigga. What the fuck, nigga? You want me to walk around musty or something, nigga? Well, I'm just telling you, the deodorant has aluminum in it. Well, nigga, fuck, what am I supposed to do then, nigga? Use a little crystal shit you using, nigga? You musty, you know that, right? I'm just saying, a lot of motherfuckers is coming at us for trying to deliver this information. Let me tell you some of the evil hypnotic spells. You ain't shit like your daddy. That's an evil hypnotic spell. You ain't gonna be shit like your daddy, right? That's an evil hypnotic. Let me tell you something. Crabs in a barrel. Willie Lynch. light skin, dark skin. These are evil, hip, nigga, anti-intellectualism. Oh, this nigga talk like a white person. Motherfucker, we created education. We created wisdom, but you don't know that no more. You've turned being smart into being gay. Dumbass motherfuckers. Do you understand? Anti-intellectualism is a spell that holds our people back. White people aren't the originators and the creators of knowledge and wisdom. No, we are. These motherfuckers waited 20, 30 years outside of the motherfucking mystery school so they can get in. Socrates, Plato, please let us in, nigger. Nigger God. Please let us in, nigger God. Please. And what happened? When we forget, they claim ownership. You forgot? Oh, good. Now I can say I made this shit. Do you understand what I'm saying? This is the problem with our people. The globalist mentality is the same as the Western medical mentality. You know what that is? Cut the cancer out. Too many regular, average, Hollywood housewife ass niggas running around this bitch? Kill them all. Fuck them. Right? That's the problem. Slavery has mimicked the first law of thermodynamics inasmuch as it has never been destroyed. Governments, military, and the banking system and its politicians have only changed slavery's format. Motherfucker, you buy a house, you don't own it. You bought it, but you don't own it. Fuck up with the mortgage, niggas, see what happened. Fuck up with the taxes, see don't we come get that shit. The ownership is an illusion. Your food is an illusion, food-like stuff, right? You don't know what the fuck is going on. You have no control over anything, and you don't even seek to write your own narrative. Am I lying? This is what's happening to us and I'm saying us as a people. We have fallen down to nigga. From negus, right? Negus. Let me tell you what Kumo D, that's my nigga. This motherfucker called the thug the hard unconscious God. THUG. He said that's what a nigga is. Inherently a God. But because he's a thug, he's the hard unconscious God. We've got to get back to a state of consciousness, conscious cooperation, conscious respect, mutual understanding, mutual reciprocity of the good in us. But we refuse to do that because niggas don't value niggas in any way, shape, or form. Let a nigga get a job somewhere with a brand that niggas recognize. I'm better than you. Period. Therein lies the problem. We're going to be killed off. I'm just saying. We're going to get killed off if niggas don't come together and coalesce. That's just the bottom fucking line. That's the bottom line. Every week I come up here and support businesses. Every week. Because I'm just saying, oh, nigga, why are you supporting clothing lines? Shit, support some engineering. Well, could an engineer call me? Let an engineer with a business call me. I'll support that too. Niggas bitch and complain about everything. Free marketing and promotion on the radio for black businesses to spark fucking recycling of black dollars while this dollar game is still being played. But niggas don't want to do it because niggas got criticism other than cooperation. It's disrespect for what we do. Oh, I really appreciate all the knowledge and information you've given, but I will not participate in helping us build some shit. It's disrespectful. I'm Zoe Williams. That's my final thought. Shit. Bobby, where can they find you and how did they get the water, man?
Forget that for the moment and do this. Support Zoe Williams and his work. If he's at 13, let's get to 15 today. Let's get to 20 by next week because ain't nobody stopping us but us. And the reason to do that is it allows us to do shows like this. Support Zoe Williams' campaign right now, Indiegogo,
the Zoe Up Morning Show Relationship Dismount Book Tour. And please support Bobby. They need to get that water, man. Thank you, brother, for bringing it. Bobby brings it to the house. Gallons of it. Thank you, Bobby. Shit.
I second Bobby's motion. Guys, you can find me on YouTube, the Video Classroom, Real Nagas, REELNAGAS, Video Classroom. Hundreds of videos on the stuff that we're talking about now, stuff that Zoe shows on the show. You can find all that stuff on there.
Geoff!
Thank you so much for the people who have been coming to Geoff Brown's fan spot. It's blowing up. I'm very grateful. You can catch me this Friday at Chris Spencer's show on Hollywood and Highland. I'm drawing a blank on what the name of the show is, but it's a fantastic show. Come your monkey asses out.
Corey!
Yo, I just want to tell everybody, if you see a nigga working in the system, watch his ass. Because that motherfucker, more than likely, is the one on bullshit.
And that's real spit, man. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. Oh, please go to cdbaby.com and get my Street Scholar God Class Volume 1. Listen, all we got is relationship. We got to heal our relationship so we can start respecting each other again. And that's the only way we can cooperate and work with each other. I love you all. Thank you for participating in the show. And we'll be back next Monday with another heater. So what? Deuces.
But is there something inside that does hurt? There has to be something
show,
inside
guys.
that people say when you're darker. What your mom did, and I respect all mothers.
Jalil's a problem.
I don't say this in disrespect, but I do think that it was not a positive thing for you as a young girl growing up, and her putting that on you was telling you that you're ugly, that you're not good enough.
You're a pretty girl, but to be dark. Why I gotta be pretty to be dark? Why I just can't be pretty? You know, why do I have to add that on? Being a child growing up.
He said that you was pretty for a dark-skinned girl. I'm certain what he meant was to compliment your exquisite.
You are watching T Radio V. Radio and TV.